Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Then we're going to go live in 5, 4, 3.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to this announcement of another fantastic innovation within the genetic analysis business of Thermo Fisher Scientific. This year marks the 40th anniversary of Sanger sequencing, and this Nobel Prize-winning method is still considered the gold standard in DNA sequencing today. And whether you're doing CRISPR construct confirmation, biomarker validation, somatic oncology, or any other applications that you've become used to, Sanger sequencing and fragment analysis will be crucial tools in your laboratory. Proof of that is right behind me today. And for the very first time, we are coming to you live in a very special online event from the Thermo Fisher Scientific Laboratories in South San Francisco. This is the birthplace of where all of the innovation and development has happened. And for this new instrument, I must say that I'm very excited to introduce you to the new Applied Biosystems SeqStudio Genetic Analyzer. This is a smart, easy to use benchtop system that delivers gold standard Sanger sequencing and fragment analysis. And by the way, if you want to combine those two methods, you can do so in one run by one simple click. In order to optimize ease of use and minimize hands-on time, we designed a cartridge that combines capillaries, polymer, and reagents all in one, which you can enter into the system. Combine that with the auto calibration capabilities of the system itself, you will be up and running in minutes rather than hours. The SeqStudio has an intuitive touch screen interface that lets you interact with the system just like you interact with your smartphone, your smart tablets, or any other of your devices. That means you can use the system as a standalone instrument without an external computer, but if you connect the SeqStudio to the Thermo Fisher cloud, the system becomes truly smart, and it will allow you to manage your instrument, share your data, and control and monitor your instrument, your runs from all your mobile devices. So now you know that the SeqStudio Genetic Analyzer uses the well-established gold standard technology, but in a completely reimagined design and a different, much more modern environment, which I believe will truly change the way you work in your lab. And that is why we say, here in South San Francisco, nothing has changed, except for everything.
You don't become the gold standard overnight. It's earned, run after run. And while some decisions in science are difficult, what if they didn't have to be? A new 4-capillary system with an all-in-one cartridge that takes setup time from hours to minutes, and with reagents that last months, not days. It just clicks. And if you need to be somewhere else, just set up and monitor your run during your run. And while this feels familiar, it's delightfully different at the same time. And that's because nothing's changed, except everything. Introducing the Applied Biosystems SeqStudio Genetic Analyzer.
All right, so welcome to our labs here in South San Francisco, the birthplace of the Applied Biosystems SeqStudio Genetic Analyzer, as Kim just unveiled to you. So we are in store for a very special event today. I'm Jeremy Scholes.
I'm Swati Kadam, and as Jeremy mentioned, we'll be talking a lot about the instrument, how it works, the consumables, the data analysis tools, and much more.
Now I'm sure you're going to have questions, and rightfully so. So wherever you are finding this video, on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, wherever, leave your questions in the comments below and we'll be sure to get back to you.
Yep. So how does this instrument work? Let's go take a look.
This is the new Applied Biosystems SeqStudio Genetic Analyzer. Open the door. Samples are prepared just like you're used to. Insert sample plate, cathode buffer, and the cartridge. This includes everything you need: the capillaries, anode buffer, polymer delivery system, POP1 polymer, and the laser detection window. One simple step with no fussy capillaries. It clicks right in. A cooling fan on board helps reagents last up to 4 months. All SeqStudio consumables have RFID tags, so tracking is automated and easy. You can set up your run remotely or right on the instrument. You can run both Sanger sequencing and fragment analysis samples on the same plate at the same time. Let's run. Check your run while you get started on another experiment, or take a break. Stay on top of your instrument's availability, monitor progress of a run, and view Sanger sequencing or fragment analysis data in real time. Instantly see base calls and run quality right on the instrument. There are many ways to export your sequencing data. For further analysis, use Thermo Fisher Connect apps, such as NGS confirmation, variant analysis, or quality check, with more to come. Or share data with your collaborators. Secondary analysis is now included with your system, including minor variant finder software for detection down to 5%. All done. That's all there is to it. To learn more, talk to your local Thermo Fisher scientific representative or visit us on the web.
Oh, hey guys. Packed with innovation, one of the most unique features you'll notice about this instrument is this cartridge right here. And to tell us a little bit more about this cartridge, I have here with me Nancy Fong, who's one of the many people responsible for helping create the SeqStudio instrument. Thanks for joining me, Nancy.
Hi, Spotty. Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about what you've heard from customers and what sort of led to the idea of the cartridge.
So before and during development of the SeqStudio system, we went around the globe to different customer sites and also conferences to talk to our customers, to see what they wanted in their next capillary electrophoresis system. And consistently, we've heard that they've always needed a dedicated expert to run the system, to set up the instrument, and so that's kind of what drove us to creating something that was innovative and easier for our customers. Another point was, customers, they have to wait for the Thermo Fisher scientific support team to come in to troubleshoot, let's say, the pump on the instrument. And so that's kind of where we pull the pump out of the instrument and place it onto the cartridge. So every time a customer will place the cartridge, they will have a new pump on the instrument.
Wow.
And with that, we have this all-in-one cartridge. So you just click it in and that's it.
Right. So tell me a little bit about how the team approached the design of the SeqStudio cartridge differently than what's already developed.
So, we really wanted to hear from our customers and put that into this cartridge. So having the ease of use sounded like it was a big must for many of our customers. And so we developed this cartridge that has all of consumables on it, along with the polymer, so it's a universal polymer instead of having several different polymers for the system, and also the capillary arrays, where they would have this lower throughput system for their needs.
So 2 questions, right? So what are the benefits of having a cartridge and sort of what's inside it?
Sure. So one of the benefits is this is a cartridge that anyone could have. So for example, if you have a lab that has several different people running the instrument, each person could have their own cartridge that they could use. Instead of having to wait for that dedicated expert to come in and install the consumables or to even start the run. Another thing is if you have different labs in your facility, you can have the different labs have their own cartridge and then come in and use the instrument instead of having to ask or wait around for using the instrument. So inside the cartridge we have the polymer, the universal POP1 polymer.
Okay.
Here you could see the polymer delivery system.
Okay.
Behind this is the anode buffer. Here's the optical detection window, so that's what interacts with the system. And you can see the 4 capillaries here for our lower throughput customers, as you can see.
Sure.
So it's all in one. You can also see there's the integrated capillary protector. So this is a cap that is inserted onto the capillaries to keep it from breakage and also to keep it moist so that it doesn't dry out.
Right, right. So when you shared the idea of the cartridge with customers, how did they feel about this all-in-one approach?
They really liked it because now they don't have to wait for a dedicated expert to come in and start the run or install the system. And additionally, they like the RFID tag feature on this instrument as well for consumables tracking. So the RFID tag will could be used on the same system or even on multiple instruments as well. So it keeps track of that real-time data for them, and they know how many injections or how many samples they have left to run.
And also when the consumables expire, right?
Exactly,
right.
The consumables expire.
That's important, right? To make sure your consumables are up to date and running.
Definitely. And one other feature is this has a 4-month shelf life after opening. So customers could either leave it on the instrument or even store it in the refrigerator during that 4-month period. So there's a lot of flexibility there.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So for people who are used to some of our previous consumables, what do you think they will appreciate the most about this cartridge?
Definitely having it all in one instead of having all of the separate components.
Right.
Now they could just slide it right into the instrument, and then there you go. You could start the instrument. And having the consumables tracking is another big feature, I think, for our customers as well. That allows them to know, how many more runs and expiration dates.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, right? Like instead of putting all those components individually, you have this one all-in-one cartridge that you just put it in and go.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Nancy. This has been great. For more information, if you have more questions, please feel free to visit us at thermofisher.com/SeqStudio. Over to you, Jeremy.
So to get the story behind SeqStudio, it's one thing to really look at the technology. It's another thing to also get the story behind the people who developed it and really our vision for connecting with our customers. And to help us do that, I'm here with Kim Capel, Vice President and General Manager of our capillary electrophoresis platform. Kim, thanks for joining us today and to have an opportunity to chat about what CE means for customers today. But first, let's talk about what's changed. So how has Sanger sequencing and fragment analysis changed over the years?
So I think it's actually gotten much simpler, much easier, and costs have come down significantly. I think initially there was a fascination with the technology. Today it's all about the data that the technology produces and what it actually does for the researcher, for the clinician, for the forensic scientist.
And I think one thing people think of too is where it sits next to, say, NGS, right? And people might think, well, NGS maybe has taken over to a certain extent. Where do you see Sanger sequencing and fragment analysis's place in the lab today?
Sure. I think that research is actually all about the right tool for the right job. And Sanger sequencing has its place, as does next-generation sequencing. Sanger is still the only platform that can do things like fragment analysis, which is part of the reason that, in fact, it drives the forensic market. Sanger sequencing is relatively simple. It's great for low-target sort of oncology testing or research. It's great for clone checking. It does a variety of different things that you just wouldn't use a next-generation technology for.
Well, let's dive a little deeper into, say, like applications. So what applications are uniquely suited for Sanger sequencing and fragment analysis?
Sanger sequencing, absolutely. Fragment analysis, so STR sort of testing that's utilized in HID in a variety of clinical applications when we're talking about oncology markers. It's also uniquely suited for clone checking, for cell authentication. It's got several sort of niche kind of application uses that make it prevalent throughout the research and clinical communities.
Oh yeah, and certainly relevant for SeqStudio, the system. And we're talking about how the technology has changed, of course, over the years. How do you think customers have changed since the first DNA sequencers were introduced in 1986?
Sure. Well, since the human genome has been sequenced, our customers are definitely very focused on what the technology actually does, the data that it provides, and how it actually changes the human condition. So much less focus on the technology itself and more focus on what it actually delivers. And it delivers quite a bit for forensic scientists, for clinicians, and for researchers.
So let's then talk about the future then. What's your outlook on capillary electrophoresis and its place in the market, and why Thermo Fisher Scientific continues to invest in it?
So, capillary electrophoresis will be around for a very long time. Again, it's uniquely suited to certain kinds of applications, and that's part of the reason that Thermo Fisher continues to invest in capillary electrophoresis. It's really what SeqStudio is all about. It's about making capillary electrophoresis simple, easy, further bringing costs down and making it incredibly efficient for a researcher to actually do science.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for the time, Kim. I really appreciate your perspective and SeqStudio's position, within the market. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
To take another perspective on the SeqStudio system, we want to actually go into laboratories that received this system for the first time. So actually, we took the opportunity to go out all over the world and interview some customers that were receiving their SeqStudio system for the very first time. Here's what they had to say.
Hi there, today we're in Delaware. Well, the customer had just received their SeqStudio genetic analyzer from Thermo Fisher Scientific.
I love that it fits on the lab bench. You don't have to remove our upper shelves or anything.
This is our new instrument, the SeqStudio. What do you think of it?
Yeah, this fits much better in any lab, I think.
Wow, it looks cool, very high-tech.
Amazing， 我觉得这一点非常完美，然后非常棒。
With the SeqStudio, all you need is this cartridge. The array is inside. You can see that there are 4 capillaries. Do you want to give it a try?
Yeah, of course. Ah, that's easy. Yeah, this is very nice. It's so easy to just load everything and have the polymer and the buffers in place. Ah, yeah, it's cool.
情報が出てきますね。これで蓋を閉じていただくだけで、
今回のカートリッジキャピラリーポリマーバッファーが別に一体型になってるんですけど、それについてはいかがですか？別々の方がいいとか。いや、一緒にあります。一緒ですごい助かります。本当にカートリッジ入れるだけっていうのはすごい。
それはその通りですね。はい。これは非常にいいと思います。そういう比較的経験の浅い人でも使えるような出来になってるとは思います。
I think it's really easy. It's only one step, and it's just clicking it in.
当我们的样品运行之后，我就可以在我的手机 APP 上面实时的查看这个数据情况。我觉得这一点非常棒。
I am looking forward to working with it. Yes, very much so.
You make it easy for us because we can streamline the process and then focus on the science instead of the technology.
Almost everyone has heard of Sanger sequencing, but not everyone knows about some of the other types of fragment analysis studies you can perform on the same instrument. I have Steve Jackson here with me, who's an application scientist. Tell us a little bit more about some of the applications you can run on the SeqStudio. Thanks for joining me, Steve.
Of course.
So tell me a little bit about what you've been working on and some of the key applications you can run on the SeqStudio.
Right, so you mentioned sequencing, and that remains a big part of what our customers are going to be able to do with the SeqStudio instrument. We have a number of different options or different modules that we're emphasizing for sequencing. First of these is going to be plasmid confirmation. So you just want to sequence a clone that you have made, a subclone, or you have a sequence that you have put into a plasmid. The SeqStudio allows you to very quickly and very easily get information about what sequence has been in your subclone there. So we have a cloud application that allows you to monitor the quality of your sequencing reactions, and it outputs the sequence very easy. So we've made that very easy for our customers.
Right.
Another application that we're kind of emphasizing is oncology research. Okay, so we have running modules on SeqStudio which have been optimized for using fragmented DNA that you get from FFPE material. This allows investigators then to very quickly look at amplicons with about 100 to 150 nucleotides long and get information about particular oncogenes or mutations that might be in a particular tumor sample, that sort of thing, and confirm that the mutation that they might think is present actually is present. We have a couple of other tools that help them with that. One is Minor Variant Finder, which is a tool that allows them to look at Sanger sequencing traces and look for allelic variants that are present at about 5% frequency. So they can go down to very low frequencies and see that there is a mutation in a tumor sample that is not very well represented. And the other thing is we have a next-gen confirmation module available as well, where customers can take their next-gen sequencing results they might have done from a discovery-based experiment where they get information about a lot of different genes in a tumor, and then they can verify that those particular mutations are present using the next-gen confirmation module and Sanger sequencing on the same amplicons. We've made that very easy for people.
Wow, that's pretty exciting. But so can you tell me a little bit about some of the other applications on, let's say, for fragment analysis, like Snapshot, MLPA?
Right, so one of the things we're excited about is a cell line authentication application. This is an important application that allows customers to verify that the cells that they're working on are actually what they think they are. For example, that they haven't had a HeLa cell line overgrow, their mouse cells or something like that. So we have put together with our HID team, Human Identification team, a couple of different options for customers that can use fragment analysis to verify that the cells that they have on their plate are actually what they think they are. So we've made it very easy and very simple for them to do.
Yeah.
We still have the Snapshot available. It's been something that we've had available for a long time. Snapshot allows customers to query particular loci, particular regions for a particular mutation, and they can do that by fragment analysis as well. With our multiplex option for Snapshot, they can analyze a large number of different potential mutational changes at one time with the Snapshot kit.
Okay.
We also have something called multiplex ligation proximity assay, MLPA, which is something that customers use for doing copy number variability analyses by fragment analysis. This allows them to very quickly see whether or not a particular a gene or locus has a large portion or a small portion even deleted by fragment analysis. So there are kits available for doing that, and we have again shown that the SeqStudio is very useful for that sort of thing.
That's a broad range of applications, right?
Yeah,
it's
and
very
there's one
exciting.
other one that I would like to mention. So, of course, everybody has heard about genome editing, CRISPR analysis.
Right, of course.
So a very big deal about genome editing analyses is being able to quantify how efficient was your genome edit.
Sure.
On SeqStudio, you can do that with Sanger sequencing. You get the traces and put it into software that allows customers to see how efficient a genome edit was in a particular region there. So again, we're kind of helping them ease their analysis of genome editing experiments.
Right. Along with genome editing, what about species identification?
That's a good question. So we have shown that the MicroSeq ID kit, which has been used for a long time for identifying bacterial species by sequencing the 16S subunit region, that can also be used on SeqStudio. So customers can use the MicroSeq kit, and we're learning that the output from SeqStudio can be used to query the MicroSeq database as well. We have another option is like for looking at eukaryotic species by using the barcode of life type experiments. And so, for example, if you want to see if the sushi that you ordered is correct, or the meat that you have is not horse meat, you can use the barcode of life type of experimentation on SeqStudio to get sequence identifications and show that they're actually the species that you think they should be.
Yeah, I think that's very important.
Of course.
So tell me a little bit about some of the customers who are transitioning from some of our previous instruments. Is there anything they need to do, let's say, differently with the SeqStudio?
No. No, actually, there really isn't anything that is different. So we've made sure that the workflows that go up front of the SeqStudio are exactly the same. So the big die workflows they've been using and the fragment analysis workflows, all that is exactly the same as they go into SeqStudio. So all the upstream stuff is
the sample prep
compatible.
is the same.
Exactly the same.
Got it.
The only thing that's different is that we've made the SeqStudio easier to use so that they can set up their runs and analyze their runs in a lot faster time than they could on the other instruments. And the quality of data they get out of SeqStudio is equivalent, if not somewhat better than some of the instruments as well. So customers can have the confidence that what they get as an output on SeqStudio is going to be equivalent to what they've been getting on their other legacy instruments as well.
Okay. And Steve, where can they find more information?
So they can go to this thing called the web, okay, and they go to thermofisher.com/SeqStudio, and they can learn more about the applications that we have available.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
As you heard, for more information, please visit us at thermofisher.com/SeqStudio. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's pretty amazing what the SeqStudio can do within the lab, but what's equally exciting is what it can do outside of the lab, in the cloud and beyond. And to talk about that, I'm here with Puneet Siri, Vice President of Digital Science in the Smart Lab. And we talk about the SeqStudio being connected. Puneet, what exactly does that mean for customers?
So SeqStudio is the first smart connected instrument for Sanger sequencing in the industry. It's really easy to use. The customers can set up a run from anywhere in the world as long as they have an access to a browser or an internet. On top of that, the user interface on this instrument is really easy. If you're familiar with an iPhone or an Android user interface, you can set it up very fast, as simple as that. On top of that, we have given remote monitoring capability to our customers. Not only they can monitor the runs from anywhere, but they can also control the runs. And to top it all, we have a scientific application store, which our customers can use to analyze their results.
Now, how is it different from, say, other cloud-enabled instruments and devices out there that are in the lab today?
So let me talk about the two main differentiating factors or features. And they are self-aware and self-healing. Let me explain to you what does it mean. Self-aware means that this instrument actually knows when it's going off calibration, and with algorithms which are inside this instrument will be able to correct itself. It'll self-calibrate itself. What is self-healing? This is the term we've started using here. What it means is that this instrument actually knows, it has algorithms in it which will help us predict failures. So when it ships today, and when 2 years from now, this instrument will be more smarter than what it is today. The more it runs, the smarter it gets.
Very nice. You touched upon the mobile app and the idea of being outside the lab, accessing your data, remote monitoring. So that brings us to the mobile app and working with SeqStudio. Walk us through that experience for someone.
This is a mobile app.
Yep.
We have actually created a mobile app for SeqStudio. As you can see here, this is a run going on right now. You can also see different injection points. As you can see, everything is looking great.
Right.
So let me tell you more about the mobile app.
Yep.
This mobile app lets you monitor your runs from anywhere in the world as long as you have a smartphone. Not only it lets you monitor the runs, but also lets you control the run. So you can do things like pause and re-injection, which has never been available on any instrument in the industry. On top of that, this mobile app is a universal app from Thermo Fisher Connect. It lets you monitor runs from many instruments from Thermo Fisher. To name a few, SeqStudio 3 and 5 from our qPCR family, and from our Simply Amp and ProFlex from our Thermocycler family. And we have customers actually using these apps from the cloud, monitoring cloud.
What is that like?
Yeah, a customer sent us pictures. He was in an airplane with the laptop open, and he was monitoring his run while he was flying in the cloud.
Wow. It's also part of this larger ecosystem that we're seeing emerge here with data analysis, and that's Thermo Fisher Connect. So what does that mean for customers as well?
So let me give you an example. Suppose there's an outbreak in Africa, and a research scientist is working in the US with those people in the field in Africa. And there are many countries where this thing is happening. So the research scientists can create protocols and put those protocols in the cloud, which is now accessible to anybody in the field, which is part of that group. These researchers can use those protocols and do the runs. Once the data is available, when the runs are complete, the data is automatically available in Thermo Fisher Connect. And our researcher can use the data to analyze and then share and collaborate with many researchers across the globe. At Thermo Fisher, what we want our customers to focus on science, and we want to make the ecosystem around them smarter for them. And that's what we have done with SeqStudio and Thermo Fisher Connect.
Can you kind of describe what's that going to be like, that sort of jump for customers that are coming from, say, older instruments to SeqStudio?
So there are three things I would like to talk about. Efficiency, flexibility, and supercomputer. And what does it mean? Let's start with efficiency. In the past, when people used to start or set up the runs, it used to take hours for sequencing runs. With SeqStudio, it will take minutes. It's as simple. When I talk about flexibility, we have remote monitoring app, as I said before, which will let you monitor these runs and control the runs from anywhere in the world as soon as you have a mobile phone or a web browser, which is going to save a lot of time. You don't have to start a run and sit in the lab to wait for it to finish. You can start the run, go home, go have a cup of coffee, go take care of your kids. And when the runs are complete, you will automatically be notified it's there. The runs will automatically go to the cloud. You can kick off your analysis sitting on your dining table. It'll give you a lot of flexibility, and our customers will be really happy with it. On top of that, we're actually giving a supercomputer to everybody who's buying a SeqStudio. What does it mean? In the past, every time you buy an instrument, you used to get a PC with it. So these customers were slave to the processing power and the memory of those PCs. No longer the case. With cloud, you have infinite compute power and you have infinite storage capabilities. So effectively, just by having this instrument, you're getting a free supercomputer on your desk. That's the power we're going to give it to our customers, and flexibility and efficiency to our customers. I hope they will really enjoy it.
I think it's going to be an exciting change for them too, and we're really excited to see what people experience with SeqStudio and its data analysis capabilities. Puneet, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to the lab with Swati.
Hey guys, I have Ravi Gupta here with me, who leads product management, to tell us a little bit more about what we get on day one and to just help us get started. Thanks for joining me, Ravi.
You're welcome.
So tell me, can you walk me through day one of receiving a SeqStudio?
Absolutely. So with the day one, even before the customer actually gets the product, we have set up our concierge service. And basically they will contact the customer ahead of time to walk them through what to expect on the day of the installation. They will also talk to the customer about networking if the customer wants to connect this instrument to the cloud. And they will basically tell them and then set up a time with them on when the service engineer should come in and start the installation process.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So what happens once you open the box?
Yeah, absolutely. So when the customer is all set up and they know when to expect the FSC, they will come in on day one. They will basically unbox the instrument, plant the instrument on the table wherever it belongs per the customer expectations, and then they will perform the installation. They will do the install run, and they will walk the customer through the basic installation steps, the basic maintenance of the instrument, and other aspects like that. They will also get a starter kit, and with that kit, you will get the 8-well tubes, you'll get the 96-well plate, the size standard, things like the cathode buffer container, and obviously the cartridge. And this comes with this integrated capillary protector to protect the capillaries as well.
Wow. So how do I learn what to do next?
Yeah, that's a great question. With the purchase of the instrument, you also get a 1 day of Smart Start. That's when our scientists will come into the lab. They will work with the customers to walk them through the details of the instrument, the details of the consumables, the detail of the software. They will run the application that the customer wants to run and generate the data, as well as perform the data analysis. So basically walking them through the whole workflow from start to finish so that the customer knows how to continue to use this instrument.
Right.
Beyond that, we also have some other resources, like we have our online learning center, where things like our user guide will be there as well, and there are many capillary electrophoresis related resources. We also have our tech support, which is just a phone call away. And also we have small videos, these are called Seek It Out videos, where you can learn, these are very small snippets of videos where you can learn more about the common things and common questions that the customers have.
Wow, that's pretty exciting. And I've heard about an application guide. Is there an application guide that people can look up as well?
That application guide is also at the web on our online resource center.
Okay, brilliant. So what if I already have an instrument? How do you help people move to the new platform?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is our best ever low throughput capillary electrophoresis instrument. So we expect the existing customers to be wanting to move to this instrument because it's just so easy to use.
Right.
We know that the customers would want to be affordable, so we have our trade-in program that allows customers to trade in their existing instrument and bring in this new instrument, making it more affordable. Also, we know that the customer want a transition period where they would want to have both the instruments available so that they can transition from an older instrument to the new. Once they're done with that transition, we will send our team in there and they will take out the older instrument. So that's the way they will be able to transition to an instrument. Also, we have professional services team for customers who are in validated environments. They work with the customer to update their standard operating procedures. They walk them through the whole workflow and make them comfortable so that they can transition very easily to this new instrument.
Okay, it's helping people get started, huh?
Exactly.
So let's say I'm a new customer. How do I order?
Yeah, so you can always contact our sales reps who are available to answer any questions and again talk about pricing and such like. Also, we have resources online where you can see what options are available to purchase and you can start from our website.
That's great. Thank you so much for all this information. It's really helpful and I'm sure it'll help our customers when they place their orders. Thank you so much for joining me today, Ravi.
Yep.
For more information, please do visit us at thermofisher.com/SeqStudio. Hey guys, let's head over to Jeremy, see if he has any questions coming in. Since we're coming to you live, we know you have questions, and we're going to try to answer as many questions as possible as we can today to help you just get started with the SeqStudio instrument. What you got for me, Jeremy?
All right, just wanting, excuse me, we are definitely live. So yeah, tons of questions coming in. Many are especially around the cartridge. How many samples can you get out of a single cartridge?
Out of a single cartridge, you can get up to 500 samples. That's approximately 125 injections.
Okay. And then why is that 4-month stability so important on the cartridge for those reagents?
Sure, I think it's really important for some of our customers who are not running a lot of samples, so they don't have to throw their buffers and polymers away. So the 4-month lifespan actually gives you more run.
Gotcha, okay. And on the cartridge as well, one question around any sort of recycling with the cartridge itself.
Yeah, and that's a great question. As you know, Thermo Fisher is a green company, so we're putting together a recycling program that you'll definitely hear more about to help recycle some of those plastics that are coming out, especially out of the cartridge.
Okay, sounds good. Now switching back and forth between fragment analysis, Sanger sequencing, something you can definitely do in the SeqStudio, but how difficult is that?
It's actually not that difficult, and you know, it's funny because I actually had a chance to play with it, so you know, I have first-hand experience. Not that difficult. You can do it when you're setting up the run, so the customer can actually figure out and tell the instrument which sample is Sanger sequencing versus which is fragment analysis. And the great thing is it all runs on the same plate at the same time.
Right, as seen in the demo video with you. Yeah. So 2 people can use their own cartridge, or I guess each person can use their own cartridge in the lab. And so how should they be stored in between runs or in between usage?
Yeah, so in between usage, once the cartridge comes out of the instrument, you know, customers should put on the integrated capillary protector or the ICP to make sure the capillaries are moist. And the cartridges can be stored in the fridge for up to 4 months, or on the instrument for up to 4 months as well.
Right, okay. Laptop computer hooked up to the SeqStudio system. How optional is that?
Well, you know, you do need your laptop for secondary analysis, but it doesn't have to be your own. It can be a shared laptop. But for the instrument itself, you don't need a laptop computer.
And then plates, strips, tubes, what's being used on the SeqStudio system? What's the story there?
Yeah, you can use a 96-well plate, or you can use the 8 tubes strip as well.
Gotcha. All right.
Pretty flexible.
Yeah, awesome. Well, great questions you're sending in. Keep them coming wherever you're finding this video. Leave them in the comments section, and we will be sure to get back to you. So, where do you go next? Where should people go next, Wadis? We're wrapping it up here.
Yes, people should go definitely to our website, which is thermofisher.com/SeqStudio, or contact your local sales rep if you have questions or if you want to order the instrument or just to learn more.
Yeah, great place to continue the conversation, obviously. And thanks for joining us today for this live broadcast and tuning in. We're so excited to bring the SeqStudio system to you. Of course, we'll see you later on. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.